everyone. Welcome back to Easy English Lab. I'm Emma, and I'm really happy you're here today.
Hey everyone, I'm Jake. It's so nice to be back, and I'm excited to chat with you about something really important, growing up and finding yourself.
Yeah, this is a topic that, doesn't have a simple answer. Everyone experiences it differently, and sometimes it can feel really confusing.
Exactly. And when I was in my early 20s, I felt that a lot. I looked at people around me, friends, classmates, even random people on social media, and I thought, wow, they have it all figured out, and I didn't.
Oh, yes, I remember that feeling so well. I used to worry a lot because I didn't have everything figured out either. My job, my plans, my future. I felt like something was wrong with me.
But now I realize that it's normal. Everyone moves at their own pace, and life is not a checklist. Some people discover their path early and some later. And that's okay.
Yes, absolutely. And social media can make it even harder, right? You see everyone posting happy pictures, exciting trips, or achievements, and you feel like your life is small in comparison.
Totally. And it's important to remember that social media is just a highlight reel. People don't show all the struggles, the doubts, or the quiet moments.
Exactly. And one thing I learned is to give yourself permission to feel lost sometimes. You don't have to have every answer immediately. Just slow down and reflect.
That's a really good point. I used to be afraid of being alone with my thoughts, but then I realized that alone time is actually really valuable. It gives you a chance to get to know yourself.
Yes, when I started journaling, even just a few sentences a day, I began to notice patterns in my thoughts and feelings. I understood what made me happy, what stressed me, and what I cared about most.
I did something similar. I would take long walks alone, no music, no phone, just observing and thinking. At first, it felt strange to be alone with my thoughts, but over time, it became peaceful. I started noticing things about myself that I hadn't before.
And it really helps you understand that life isn't a race. I used to think that I had to do everything by a certain age, graduate, get a job, maybe get married, own a house, but everyone has their own timing.
Absolutely. Some people find their dream job at 22, others at 40. Some meet their life partner early, others later. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're behind or failing.
Exactly, and that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own growth, your own experiences.
And, talking to friends and mentors about how you feel really helps too. Just sharing your thoughts and hearing someone else's experience can give perspective and comfort.
Yes, I remember talking to my older cousin once. I was feeling lost, and she told me, "It's okay. Life is a journey. You don't need to figure everything out right now." That really stayed with me.
Same here. I had a friend who told me, Jake, life is not a checklist. It's about learning, experiencing, and growing. That changed how I looked at my own journey.
And part of growing up is learning to understand your emotions. I used to hide or ignore my feelings because I thought it was weak to show them.
I understand that. I used to think that feeling sad or anxious meant I was failing. But now I realized emotions are signals. They tell us what matters to us, what we need to work on, and what we should pay attention to.
Exactly. And talking about emotions with someone you trust, a friend, family member, or mentor really helps. Even just writing them down can help you understand yourself better.
I agree. And trying new things while discovering yourself is so important. Even small experiments, a new hobby, learning a skill, or a short course can show you what you enjoy.
Yes. For instance, I started writing short stories just for fun. I didn't expect anything to come from it, but I discovered I really loved writing. It became a big part of my life.
I did something similar. I would take long walks alone. No music, no phone, just observing and thinking. At first, it felt strange to be alone with my thoughts, but over time, it became peaceful. I started noticing things about myself that I hadn't before.
And it really helps you understand that life isn't a race. I used to think that I had to do everything by a certain age, graduate, get a job, maybe get married, own a house. But everyone has their own timing.
Absolutely. Some people find their dream job at 22, others at 40. Some meet their life partner early, others later. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're behind or failing.
Exactly. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on your own growth, your own experiences.
And, talking to friends and mentors about how you feel really helps too. Just sharing your thoughts and hearing someone else's experience can give perspective and comfort.
Yes, I remember talking to my older cousin once. I was feeling lost, and she told me, "It's okay. Life is a journey. You don't need to figure everything out right now." That really stayed with me.
Same here. I had a friend who told me, "Jake, life is not a checklist. It's about learning, experiencing, and growing." That changed how I looked at my own journey.
And part of growing up is learning to understand your emotions. I used to hide or ignore my feelings because I thought it was weak to show them.
I understand that. I used to think that feeling sad or anxious meant I was failing. But now I realized emotions are signals. They tell us what matters to us, what we need to work on, and what we should pay attention to.
Exactly. And talking about emotions with someone you trust, a friend, family member, or mentor, really helps. Even just writing them down can help you understand yourself better.
I agree. And trying new things while discovering yourself is so important. Even small experiments, a new hobby, learning a skill, or a short course can show you what you enjoy.
Yes. For instance, I started writing short stories just for fun. I didn't expect anything to come from it, but I discovered I really loved writing. It became a big part of my life.
I did drawing, but I wasn't good at first, but I enjoyed the process, and it helped me relax. Creativity helped me understand myself more.
Doing what you enjoy builds confidence. You don't have to be perfect. Just try, learn, and enjoy the process.
Yes, and mistakes are part of learning. Many young people feel they must be perfect, but really, small failures teach the most valuable lessons.
Like when I did an internship that wasn't the right fit. At first, I felt like I had failed, but then I realized I learned so much about myself, my strengths, what I value, and the type of work I wanted.
That's exactly it. Every experience, whether it's good or bad, helps you understand yourself.
And listening to yourself is so important, not just listening to what society or other people expect from you. What do you feel is meaningful? What do you enjoy?
Absolutely. Self-awareness is the first step to finding your path.
And patience is key. Growth takes time. You won't figure everything out in a week or even a year. It's a gradual process.
Slow progress is still progress. Every small step counts.
And sharing your journey with supportive people can help a lot. Friends, family, mentors. Just having someone to listen and give advice can be comforting.
It's true. I call it story sharing, learning together through experiences, mistakes, and advice.
And it often inspires you to try new things you wouldn't have done alone.
Yes, and remembering that everyone's journey is unique is so important. Just because someone seems successful doesn't mean their life is perfect.
Behind every success story are struggles that people rarely show.
And embracing your own pace, your own mistakes, and your own growth, that's the real journey.
It's okay to feel lost sometimes. You don't have to have all the answers. That's the point of growing.
Being honest about your feelings is brave. Sharing what confuses you or excites you helps you discover yourself.
And even small habits, journaling, walking, reading, or practicing a skill add up over time.
Little actions build confidence and self-understanding. They really do.
And that's how you start finding yourself, even if you don't have a clear path yet.
Yes, discovering yourself is slow, but each small step makes a difference.
And it all connects to the friendships, relationships, and experiences you'll have along the way. They teach you lessons you can't learn alone.
Exactly. The challenges, the people, the successes, and the failures, they all shape who you become.
So sometimes just sitting quietly, reflecting, and observing your life can be one of the most powerful things you do.
And that's why, even when life feels confusing, it's really an opportunity to grow, step by step, day by day.
And little by little, as you reflect, try new things, and learn from experiences, you will understand yourself better and feel more confident in your choices.
Yes, and that self-understanding will make relationships, work, and personal happiness much clearer.
And that's the first step, knowing yourself, your feelings, your values, and your pace.
Exactly. Everything else flows naturally from there. You know, Emma, sometimes growing up feels like walking in a fog. You don't really see where you're going, but you just keep moving.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think when I was younger, I used to believe that adults had everything figured out. Like, they knew what they were doing every single day. But now that I'm older, I realize most people are just trying to do their best.
Exactly. I remember when I was a kid, I thought my parents were superheroes. I thought they had all the answers. But now, when I think about it, they were just trying to make things work, you know?
That's so true. I remember one time my mom told me, we didn't know what we were doing either. We just learned as we went. That really made me feel more relaxed about life. Like, it's okay not to have it all together.
Yeah, it's such a relief when you understand that. I mean, so many people feel pressure to know their future at 20 or even younger, but life just doesn't work that way.
Right. I think people grow at different speeds. Some people find their passion early, and some people find it later. Both are okay.
I think part of growing up is learning to stop comparing yourself to others. It's hard, but it's so important.
Definitely. I used to compare myself all the time. Like when I saw my friends getting great jobs, buying nice things, traveling, I felt behind.
Oh, same here. I remember scrolling on social media and thinking, wow, everyone's life looks perfect. But then I realized that people only share their best moments online.
Exactly. They don't post about their bad days, their failures, their nights of crying. So it's not fair to compare your whole story to someone else's highlight reel.
That's a great way to put it. I think once I stopped comparing, I started feeling more peace.
Me too. I started enjoying small things more, like taking a walk after dinner, or reading before bed, or just calling a friend.
Same here. It's like you start seeing happiness in normal things.
I love that because real happiness isn't about big achievements all the time. It's about moments of peace, laughter, connection.
Yeah. You know, I used to think happiness was something you reach one day. Like once I get that job or once I move to that city. But it's not a final place. It's something you notice every day if you slow down.
Yes, I learned that too. I used to rush through everything, always thinking about the next goal, but now I try to enjoy what I'm doing now, even if it's small.
That's such a healthy mindset. Sometimes when I feel lost, I try to remind myself that it's okay to take it slow.
That's beautiful, Jake. I think the world moves too fast. Everyone wants results right now. But growing up takes time. Finding yourself takes time.
Yeah, I like that word, time, because everything good takes time. Friendship, love, confidence, none of that happens overnight.
Exactly. And when you accept that, life feels lighter. You stop blaming yourself for not being there yet.
That's so true. I remember when I changed my career, I felt like a failure for a while, but now I see it was part of my growth.
What made you change your career?
Well, I studied something I didn't really love in university. It was more like something my family expected. I worked in that field for a few years, but I wasn't happy. I used to wake up tired every day.
I can relate. That's really hard.
Yeah, but one day I decided to take a small step. I started learning something new online just in the evenings, and I realized I enjoyed it so much more.
That's amazing. So you slowly moved to a new path?
Exactly. It wasn't easy. I didn't quit right away. I just built skills little by little. And after a while, I got a chance to do something new.
I love that story. It shows that change doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be slow and gentle.
Yeah, it's about being patient. We live in a world where people want instant success, but that's not how real growth works.
Absolutely. And I think when you move slowly, you also understand yourself better. You know what you like and what you don't like.
True. When you rush, you miss the lessons. But when you move slow, you really feel them.
That's deep, Jake. I think people listening right now might need to hear that because a lot of learners or young people feel like they're not moving fast enough.
Yeah, and to them, I'd say, you're doing fine. Just keep learning, keep trying, and keep being kind to yourself.
That's perfect. You know, self-kindness is something I had to learn too. I used to be my own biggest critic.
Same here. We talk to ourselves in ways we would never talk to our friends.
Exactly. So I started changing that voice in my head. Instead of saying, you failed, I started saying, you tried your best.
That's a small change, but it makes a big difference.
Yes, because the way you talk to yourself becomes the way you see yourself.
That's powerful. I think growing up is really about learning to be your own friend.
I love that. Be your own friend. That's something we should all remember.
Yeah, because no matter what happens, jobs, friends, relationships, you will always have yourself. So it's important to be kind to that person.
Exactly. And when you're kind to yourself, you have more energy to be kind to others.
Yes, it's like kindness grows in circles. It starts from you and spreads to others.
That's beautiful. You know, Jake, I think this part of life, finding yourself, it's not a one-time thing. It happens again and again.
You're right. We keep changing. We learn new things. We meet new people. And we see the world differently. So we keep finding ourselves again.
Yes, and that's the exciting part. We don't stay the same person forever. We get to grow, and that's amazing.
Yeah. And I think the more we accept that, the more peaceful life becomes.
Totally. Growth can be hard, but it's also beautiful.
Well said, Emma.
Thanks, Jake.
You know, I feel like today's talk really helped me reflect too.
Me too. Sometimes just talking about life makes things clearer.
Exactly. It's like when you put thoughts into words, you understand them better.
Yes, that's the power of conversation. It helps you see yourself and others more clearly. You know, Jake, I've been thinking about something lately. When you're growing up, people often ask, "What do you want to be?" But they never ask, "Who do you want to become?"
Wow, that's such a good point. Yeah, it's always about jobs, careers, money, but nobody really talks about the kind of person you want to be, like kind, patient, creative, or brave.
Exactly. And I think that's even more important because your job might change, but who you are stays with you.
True. I remember after I changed jobs, I realized that what I really wanted was not a fancy title. I just wanted to do something that felt meaningful.
I love that. Sometimes we chase things because we think they'll make us happy, but happiness is more about how you live every day.
Yeah, like I used to think success meant having a big salary. But then I saw people who had that and were still unhappy.
Right. I think success is different for everyone. For me, it's about feeling peaceful, being proud of myself, and having good relationships.
That's beautiful. I think for me, success is freedom, like being able to choose how I spend my time.
That's such a good answer. You know, it takes a lot of self-awareness to realize that.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and sometimes pain, too.
Oh, yes. Growth always comes with some pain. I remember when I moved to a new city, I was so excited at first, but then I felt so lonely.
That must have been really hard.
It was. I didn't know anyone, and I missed my friends so much. But during that time, I learned how to be alone without feeling empty.
That's such a powerful skill, being okay with your own company.
Yes, I started doing small things that made me happy, like going to a cafe by myself, taking long walks, or reading in the park.
That sounds really peaceful.
It was. At first, it felt strange. I thought people would look at me and think, why is she alone? But then I realized nobody cared.
Yeah, exactly. People are usually too busy thinking about themselves.
Right. And that was freeing. I stopped worrying so much about what others think.
That's such a key lesson. The moment you stop living for other people's opinions, you start living for yourself.
Totally. And I think that's when I started to grow for real.
Same here. I used to always want approval from family, friends, even strangers online. But now, I just want to feel proud of myself.
That's real maturity, Jake.
Thanks, Emma. You know, there's something peaceful about realizing that you don't have to be perfect.
Oh, yes. I think perfection is the biggest trap. People think they need to be perfect to be loved or accepted, but the truth is, we connect more through our imperfections.
That's so true. When someone shares their real struggles, it makes you feel close to them.
Yes, like when a friend tells you they're nervous or insecure or tired, you suddenly feel, oh, me too.
Yeah, it's like a reminder that we're all human.
Exactly, and I think that's why honesty is so powerful.
Definitely. You know, when I was younger, I tried to hide my weaknesses. I wanted people to see only my strong side.
I used to do that too. I thought showing emotion was a sign of weakness.
But actually, it's the opposite. It takes courage to be open.
Absolutely. And when you do, you inspire others to do the same.
Yeah, it's like kindness. It spreads.
I remember one time at work, a colleague told me she was feeling lost. Instead of pretending to be fine, she was honest. And that made me feel comfortable to share too.
That's such a great example. Honesty creates connection.
Yes. And I think that's something we should all practice. Being honest but gentle.
Yeah, because honesty without kindness can hurt.
True. It's about saying the truth with care.
You know, that reminds me, I had a friend once who gave me really honest feedback about something I did. At first, it hurt, but then I realized it came from love, not judgment.
That's the best kind of honesty.
Yeah, it helps me grow a lot.
Sometimes we need people like that, who tell us the truth, but still believe in us.
Exactly. They help us see ourselves clearly.
I think that's one of the biggest gifts in friendship. Someone who helps you grow, not by fixing you, but by being real with you.
Beautifully said, Emma.
Thanks, Jake. You know, we've talked about honesty and friendship, but I also think forgiveness is part of growing up.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. Forgiving others and forgiving yourself.
Yes. The second one is sometimes harder.
Totally. I've made mistakes I couldn't stop thinking about for years.
Same. But the more I learn, the more I realize that mistakes are part of the story.
Yeah. You can't grow without them.
Right? And holding on to guilt doesn't change the past. It just hurts your present.
That's so true. I think forgiveness is like letting yourself breathe again.
That's such a nice way to say it.
Thanks. I mean, it's not easy. Sometimes you have to remind yourself over and over again that it's okay to move on.
Yes, it's a process, but even small steps count.
Yeah, like saying to yourself, I did what I could with what I knew then.
Exactly. That's compassion. Emma, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It's about freeing yourself. Yes, you don't have to forget, but you can choose peace.
That's powerful.
I learned that the hard way. I held on to anger for so long once, and it made me tired all the time.
I know that feeling. It's like carrying a heavy bag everywhere.
Exactly. And when I finally forgave, it was like putting that bag down.
I love that image. It's something everyone can understand.
Yeah. And after that, I started to see people differently. Everyone's just trying, you know?
Yes. Everyone has their own pain, their own reasons.
Right. So now when someone hurts me, I try to think, maybe they were hurting too.
That's a very gentle way to see the world.
Thanks. It's not always easy, but it helps me stay peaceful.
Yeah, and peace is something we all need more of.
Absolutely.
You know, Emma, something else I've been thinking about is how much we grow from the people we meet. Every friend, every mentor, every stranger we talk to can teach us something.
Yes, totally. Sometimes the lesson is big, like advice that changes your life. Other times it's small, like noticing a new perspective or just a small act of kindness.
Exactly. I remember one time I met a stranger on a train. We started talking about books, and she gave me a suggestion for one I never would have picked up. That book completely changed how I think about life.
Oh, wow. I love moments like that. I had something similar when I was in a cafe. I was feeling stuck, and a woman next to me just said, "Take a deep breath and do one small thing today." Simple words, but they stayed with me.
Yes, that's amazing. Small moments like that can make a big difference. I think when you pay attention to life like that, you see more opportunities for growth.
Exactly. And I think when we're open, we learn more. When you're closed off or too worried, you might miss things that could help you understand yourself.
True. And learning about yourself isn't just about thinking, it's also about doing. Experiencing life, trying new things, making mistakes, and reflecting.
Totally. I think reflection is so important. I try to spend at least a few minutes at the end of each day thinking about what went well and what I learned.
Yeah, and I do something similar. I ask myself, did I act in a way that I'm proud of? Did I try something new? Did I treat people kindly?
That's great because it helps you grow little by little. You don't have to do everything perfectly at once.
Exactly. And sometimes, even thinking about what you don't like is useful. Like, noticing things that bother you can show what matters most to you.
I completely agree. I realize that I don't like being in places where I feel rushed or pressured, so I try to create a life with calm moments.
That's smart. And it's interesting how life teaches you these things, sometimes in unexpected ways.
Totally. For example, I took a class I didn't enjoy at all. At first, I was frustrated, but later I realized it taught me patience and perseverance.
Oh, yes, I've had similar experiences. I took a group project once where everyone disagreed constantly. It was exhausting, but I learned how to communicate better and handle conflict.
Exactly. And those skills are more valuable than any grade or certificate.
Yeah, that's real life learning. Not everything happens in a classroom.
Right. And another thing I noticed, sometimes growth comes from discomfort. When you feel scared or nervous, it usually means you're about to learn something new.
Totally. I remember trying public speaking for the first time. I was terrified. My hands shook, my voice was shaky, but after I did it, I realized I could do more than I thought.
Yes, that's such a good example. I had a similar moment when I moved to a new city. I felt scared and lonely, but I also discovered my own strength.
Exactly. Fear and discomfort often come before growth.
And I think people often avoid them because they feel safe in their comfort zone. But nothing really changes there.
True. Comfort zones are safe, but growth zones are exciting.
I love that. Comfort zone versus growth zone. It's a simple way to think about life.
And it's okay to move slowly. You don't have to jump all at once. Even small steps count.
Totally. For example, if you're shy and want to make friends, you don't have to talk to 100 people immediately. Start with one small conversation.
Exactly. And each small step gives you confidence for the next one.
And I think journaling about these small steps helps too. You see how much you've progressed over time.
That's a great idea. I should start doing that more.
You definitely should. It's amazing to look back and see how far you've come, even if it doesn't feel like it every day.
That's true. Life moves slowly, and we don't always notice our growth in the moment.
Yes, and celebrating small victories is important too. Even something simple like finishing a book, or trying a new food, or speaking up in a conversation. It all matters.
Absolutely. Life is built from small moments like that.
And learning to appreciate them makes life feel fuller.
Totally. And I think when we're aware of ourselves, our feelings, our choices, our mistakes, our growth, we live more intentionally.
That's beautiful. Intentional living is something I've been trying to practice more.
Me too. It's like instead of drifting through life, you're making conscious choices every day.
And even small changes can make a big difference over time.
Yeah, like choosing to be kind, patient, curious, and open.
Exactly. And choosing to forgive, to reflect, and to explore.
You know, Emma, I think growing up and finding yourself is really a lifelong journey.
Absolutely. There's no finish line. You keep learning, changing, and discovering.
And the more you understand yourself, the more peaceful and confident you become.
Yes, and the more you can enjoy life, even with its mistakes, surprises, and challenges.
That's the beauty of it. Life is messy, unpredictable, but also full of learning and joy.
I love that perspective.
Me too. And I hope everyone listening can remember that it's okay to move slowly, make mistakes, and explore.
Absolutely. Every small step counts, and every experience teaches you something.
You know, Emma, sometimes I think the hardest part of growing up is dealing with uncertainty. Not knowing what's next can be really stressful.
Oh, yes, I feel that too. When I was finishing school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I felt pressure from everyone, family, friends, even teachers. But I didn't know where to start.
Exactly. I remember finishing university and thinking, now what? I had a degree, but I had no clear path. I felt like I was behind everyone else.
And that feeling of being behind can make you doubt yourself. You start comparing your journey to others.
Totally. But over time, I realized that uncertainty isn't bad. It's actually an opportunity to explore, to try new things, to learn more about yourself.
That's a really positive way to look at it. I think when you accept uncertainty, you also accept that mistakes are okay.
Absolutely. I used to think that making a mistake was failing, but now I see it's just part of the learning process.
Yes, every mistake teaches you something about yourself, your choices, and how to improve next time.
And sometimes mistakes lead to opportunities you never expected.
Oh, yes. I remember once I applied for a job I didn't get. At first, I was disappointed, but later I realized that rejection led me to another position that was a much better fit.
Exactly. Life often works that way. One closed door can lead to a better open one.
And I think that's why patience is so important. You can't rush life. Things happen at the right time.
True. And while you wait, you can focus on yourself, learning new skills, developing hobbies, building friendships.
Yes, and small daily habits make a huge difference over time.
Like reading a few pages every day, or practicing English for 10 minutes, or just reflecting on your day.
Exactly. Those small steps add up, and suddenly you look back and see how far you've come.
And I think celebrating small achievements is important too, even if it's something simple like finishing a project or trying something new.
Definitely. It builds confidence and keeps you motivated.
You know, another challenge in growing up is learning to manage emotions. Sometimes life feels overwhelming, stress, sadness, or frustration.
Oh, yes, I've been there. I used to feel like I had to hide my emotions, but now I know that acknowledging them is the first step to managing them.
Totally. I found that talking to someone you trust really helps. A friend, family member, or mentor. Just sharing what you feel can lighten the load.
And sometimes writing down your thoughts helps too. I started keeping a journal to reflect on my feelings. It's amazing how much clarity it brings.
I do that as well. Even just a few lines a day can help you understand patterns in your behavior and emotions.
And the more you understand yourself, the better choices you can make.
Exactly. You start noticing what situations make you happy, what stresses you, and what aligns with your values.
And that's really the key, knowing your values. It guides your decisions and helps you grow in the direction you want.
Yes, and sometimes life teaches you values through experiences you never expected, like failure, loss, or challenges.
True. Those experiences are tough, but they shape who you are.
And they often teach empathy, too. When you face struggles, you understand others' struggles better.
Absolutely. I've noticed that people who faced challenges often have more patience and kindness.
Exactly. And learning to accept both your strengths and weaknesses is part of the journey.
Yes, no one is perfect. We all have areas to improve, and that's okay.
And when you accept that, life feels lighter. You stop being so hard on yourself.
Totally. And I think that's why self-compassion is so important. Treating yourself kindly, the way you would a good friend.
Yes, and it also allows you to take risks. Because you know, even if you fail, you'll still be okay.
That's a great point. Fear of failure holds so many people back, but self-compassion helps you move forward anyway.
And every small step forward builds confidence. Even tiny progress matters.
And learning to enjoy the journey, not just the destination, makes life more meaningful.
Absolutely. The path is as important as the goal.
And along the way, friendships and relationships teach us a lot about ourselves too.
Definitely. Friends reflect parts of you that you might not notice, and they also support you when life feels hard.
And sometimes friendships challenge you to grow. They push you out of your comfort zone in positive ways.
Yes, and romantic relationships too can teach patience, empathy, and communication.
Exactly. And learning to navigate them helps you grow emotionally and mentally.
And through all of this, you realize that growing up isn't about reaching a perfect state. It's about learning, evolving, and becoming more self-aware.
Totally. And it's a lifelong process. You never stop learning about yourself.
And that's what makes life exciting. The journey of discovery never ends.
Yes, and even when life feels confusing, challenging, or scary, it's all part of the process.
Exactly. And sometimes the most difficult experiences lead to the most growth.
Absolutely. And when we reflect on these experiences, we find meaning, strength, and wisdom.
And sharing these lessons with others makes the journey even more valuable.
Yes, because our stories, struggles, and lessons can help and inspire others.
That's why conversations like this, talking openly and honestly, are so important.
Totally. It helps us feel connected, understood, and supported.
And it reminds us that we're never really alone on this journey.
Exactly. Everyone is finding themselves, learning, and growing in their own way.
And that's what makes life beautiful, the shared experience of growth, discovery, and connection.
I couldn't agree more.
You know, Emma, I've been thinking a lot about habits. I feel like small habits really shape the kind of person you become.
Oh, yes, I totally agree. Habits are like tiny building blocks. If you do something small every day, over time, it really adds up.
Exactly. For example, I try to read a little every day. Even 10 minutes feels small, but after a few months, I notice I've read so much.
Yes, I started doing that too, and it's amazing how much it helps me think more clearly.
And it's not just reading. It could be exercise, journaling, or practicing English. Small steps build confidence.
Definitely. I also try to practice gratitude every day. Just thinking about 3 things I'm thankful for makes a big difference in my mood.
That's a great habit. I sometimes forget to do that, but when I do, it really changes how I see the day.
Yes, and habits like this also make you more self-aware. You start noticing patterns in your life, what makes you happy, stressed, or calm.
Exactly, and self-awareness is key to personal growth.
Absolutely. When you know yourself better, you can make better decisions.
And I think reflection is part of that too. Taking time to think about your day, your choices, and your emotions.
Yes, even just a few minutes at night helps me see things differently.
I do the same. Sometimes I write in a journal, sometimes I just think quietly.
And it helps you notice small progress too, like, oh, I handled that situation better than last time.
Exactly, and celebrating small wins is important. You don't have to wait for a huge achievement to feel proud.
Totally. It builds motivation and confidence.
And confidence is really important for facing challenges.
Oh, yes. Life is full of challenges, big and small. Confidence helps you try things you might otherwise avoid.
Like speaking English in front of others, even when you feel nervous.
Exactly. Or trying a new hobby, or moving to a new city.
And each time you face a challenge, you learn something new about the world and about yourself.
Yes. And over time, you realize you're stronger than you thought.
And it makes fear smaller too. The first time is always the hardest, but after that, it gets easier.
Definitely. That's why taking small steps is so important.
And surrounding yourself with supportive people helps too. Friends, family, mentors, they encourage you when you feel unsure.
Totally. I think everyone needs at least one person who believes in them.
Yes, someone who reminds you of your strengths when you forget.
And also someone who can give honest advice with kindness.
That's so true. Feedback is valuable, but only when it comes from a caring place.
Exactly. It helps you grow without feeling judged.
And sometimes even strangers can teach you lessons. A kind word, a story, or a simple act of generosity.
Oh, yes. I had a stranger compliment me once, and it made me feel more confident for days.
Wow, that's amazing. Small gestures like that can really change your mindset.
And I think when you notice these small moments, life feels richer.
Definitely. Life is not only about big events. It's the small things, conversations, walks, smiles, acts of kindness that shape our experience.
Exactly. And reflecting on these moments also helps you feel grateful.
Gratitude is so powerful. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present.
And that makes challenges easier to face. When you see what you have, problems feel smaller.
Yes, and it also reminds you that life has balance, ups and downs, joys and struggles.
And accepting that balance makes you more resilient.
Absolutely. Life will never be perfect, but you can navigate it with awareness, patience, and kindness.
Yes, and I think that's the essence of growing up, learning to live fully with all its complexities.
Totally. And part of that is learning to trust yourself.
Oh, yes. Trusting yourself means listening to your own feelings and instincts.
And also believing that you can handle what comes your way.
Exactly. And when you trust yourself, it makes decision-making easier.
It reduces doubt and anxiety. You feel more confident taking action.
Yes. And even when you make mistakes, you trust that you can learn and move forward.
That's a very important point. Mistakes aren't failures, they're lessons.
Absolutely. And forgiving yourself for mistakes is part of growth.
Yes, self-forgiveness allows you to move on without carrying unnecessary weight.
And when you let go of guilt, you free yourself to grow and enjoy life.
Exactly. And over time, you start seeing life as a journey of learning and discovery, not a test to pass.
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
And sharing what you learn along the way helps others too.
Yes, conversations like this are one way to share lessons and support each other.
And they also help you reflect more deeply.
Exactly. Talking, listening, and sharing experiences makes growth more conscious and meaningful.
And it reminds us that no one's alone. Everyone's learning, exploring, and growing in their own way.
That's so true. And the journey itself becomes the reward.
Absolutely. The experiences, the connections, the lessons, they all matter.
And appreciating each step makes life feel more joyful and fulfilling.
Yes, and I think that's the heart of self-discovery. Learning to live fully, accept yourself, and grow with awareness.
I couldn't agree more.
And the more you practice these ideas, reflection, gratitude, patience, kindness, the more natural they become.
Exactly. And over time, you realize that even small daily practices can transform your life.
Yes, and that's empowering. Knowing that small steps can lead to big changes.
Absolutely. It shows that growth isn't about instant results. It's about consistency, awareness, and self-care.
And embracing the journey with patience and curiosity makes it all worthwhile.
Totally. Life is full of lessons if we're willing to notice them.
And sharing those lessons helps us connect with others on a deeper level.
Exactly. That's why conversations like this are so valuable.
Yes, and even thinking about it now, I feel more motivated to live intentionally and be mindful of my growth.
Me too. You know, Jake, another thing I've been thinking about is how relationships really shape who we are. Not just romantic ones, but friendships and even casual connections.
Totally. I feel like every person we meet leaves some mark on us. Sometimes it's big, sometimes small, but it's always there.
Yes, even a short conversation with a stranger can teach you something new about life, people, or even yourself.
Absolutely. I remember once talking to someone on the bus. It was just a random chat, but it made me think differently about kindness and patience.
That's such a good point. And I think noticing these moments helps us grow. Life isn't just about big events, it's also the small, everyday interactions.
Exactly. And with friends, we often see parts of ourselves we didn't notice before.
Oh, yes, friends can be mirrors in a way. They reflect our strengths, weaknesses, and habits.
And they also challenge us. A good friend will push you out of your comfort zone when needed.
Totally. I've learned so much from friends who disagreed with me or offered a different perspective.
And even disagreements can be lessons. They teach communication, patience, and empathy.
Yes. And I think being able to listen, really listen, is one of the most important skills in any relationship.
Definitely. Listening helps you understand others and also understand yourself better.
Exactly. When we listen, we notice things we might have ignored, feelings, needs, or patterns.
And noticing patterns is key to growth, like realizing why certain conflicts happen repeatedly and what you can do differently.
Yes. And reflecting on your role in these situations is so important. It helps you take responsibility without blaming yourself too harshly.
That's a good point. Growth isn't about guilt. It's about awareness and change.
Totally. And sometimes growth comes from letting go, too. Letting go of toxic relationships or situations that no longer serve you.
Absolutely. And holding on to negativity only slows you down.
Yes. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it hurts to let go, even if it's necessary.
True. But after letting go, there's space for new, positive experiences.
Exactly. And I've noticed that the people who stay in your life naturally are often the ones who support your growth.
That's so true. Supportive people help you take risks, face challenges, and celebrate successes.
And even small acts of support matter. A kind word, encouragement, or just being present.
Totally. And I think giving support is just as important as receiving it.
Yes, helping others grows empathy and strengthens connections.
And sometimes supporting someone else also helps you reflect on your own life.
Absolutely. It's like a mirror. By helping, you see yourself more clearly.
And that reflection can motivate you to improve and be more mindful.
Yes, and I think one of the biggest lessons in relationships is balance. Giving, receiving, and knowing when to step back.
That's true. Balance prevents burnout and ensures relationships remain healthy.
Exactly. And I also think trust is key. Trusting yourself and trusting others.
Absolutely. Trust allows openness, honesty, and deeper connection.
And building trust takes time, patience, and consistency.
Yes, and sometimes trust is tested, and that's okay. It's part of learning how to navigate relationships.
Totally. And even when trust is broken, forgiveness and communication can help rebuild it.
Yes, forgiveness again. It's such a powerful tool for growth, both personally and in relationships.
And self-forgiveness, too. It's important not to blame yourself for past mistakes in relationships.
Absolutely. Accepting that everyone makes mistakes helps you move forward without regret.
And I think reflection is part of that, too. Looking back, understanding, and learning without harsh judgment.
Exactly. And over time, these lessons shape how you approach life with more patience, understanding, and empathy.
Yes. And that's really the essence of growing up. Learning from experiences, both good and bad, and becoming more self-aware.
And the journey never really ends. Life keeps teaching, and we keep learning.
Totally. And each experience, each relationship, each challenge adds layers to who we are.
And being aware of these layers helps you live more intentionally.
Exactly. And that awareness helps you make better decisions, handle challenges, and build meaningful connections.
And over time, it builds confidence. You start trusting your instincts and choices more.
Yes, and confidence combined with self-awareness and empathy creates a balanced, fulfilling life.
Totally. And the more you practice reflection, patience, and kindness, the more natural these qualities become.
Exactly. And that's why everyday experiences matter so much.
Absolutely. Every conversation, every challenge, every act of kindness, it all contributes to growth.
And noticing that makes life feel more meaningful and joyful.
Yes. And it reminds us that we are always learning, always evolving, and always discovering.
And even when it feels slow, every step counts.
Exactly. Life is a continuous journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery.
And embracing it fully with patience and awareness makes the journey beautiful.
Totally. And I think that's a comforting thought for anyone feeling uncertain or lost.
Absolutely. You're never really lost. You're just on your unique journey, learning and growing.
And even the challenges and mistakes are part of the journey.
Yes, they're lessons, opportunities, and stepping stones.
And the key is to keep moving forward, being mindful and staying open to growth.
Exactly. That's what makes life meaningful. The process of discovering yourself and connecting with the world.
Totally. And sharing these experiences helps others feel less alone in their journey.
Absolutely. And that's why conversations like this matter. They remind us that growth is universal.
And that everyone is learning, exploring, and discovering in their own way.
Yes, and the more we notice it, the more peaceful and fulfilled life becomes.
Totally. Life is a journey, and every step, big or small, matters.
Exactly. And embracing it with awareness, kindness and curiosity makes it beautiful.
You know, Emma, facing fears is such an important part of growing up.
Totally. Even small fears, like speaking in public or trying a new activity, can teach you a lot about courage.
Exactly. Each time you take a step forward, you build confidence for the next challenge.
And it's okay to feel nervous. Nervousness shows that you care and that you're stepping out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. Handling fear is really about acting despite it, not waiting for it to disappear.
And reflecting on each experience afterwards helps you understand yourself better and do things differently next time.
Yes, and even small victories, like saying hello to someone new, count. They slowly make bigger challenges feel easier.
Totally. Fear doesn't go away instantly, but every small step makes you stronger.
Life choices can feel overwhelming sometimes, especially when you're unsure about the future.
Oh, yes. But if you focus on your values and take small steps, decisions feel much more manageable.
Totally. You don't need to have everything figured out immediately. Life is a process.
And making mistakes is okay. Mistakes are lessons that teach you what works and what doesn't.
Exactly. And over time, you start trusting your own judgment more and feel more confident in your decisions.
And it's important to remember that comparing yourself to others doesn't help. Everyone's path is different.
Absolutely. Your journey is unique, and small, thoughtful steps move you forward more than rushing to the right answer.
I think building purpose is about noticing what makes you feel alive and fulfilled.
Yes, purpose doesn't have to be something huge. Even small contributions, like helping others or learning something new, can give life meaning.
And focusing on what you can control, your choices, habits, and attitude, is really powerful.
Absolutely. Living intentionally with awareness and kindness makes each day feel meaningful, even in small moments.
And purpose often grows naturally as you explore life, try new things, and reflect on what's important to you.
Yes, and sharing your purpose with others or supporting others in their journey adds even more meaning.
So, growing up and finding yourself is really about learning, reflecting, and connecting with life and people.
Totally. It's about embracing experiences, building confidence, and discovering your own path.
And remembering that every small step, every conversation, every lesson counts toward growth.
Exactly. Life is a continuous journey, and the process itself, the steps along the way, is the reward.
Being patient, aware, and kind to yourself and others makes the journey beautiful.
Yes, and accepting challenges, mistakes, and fears as part of learning helps you grow stronger and more confident.
Totally. Keep learning, reflecting, and taking small steps toward your goals.
And enjoy the journey, because life is full of lessons, discoveries, and meaningful moments.
Exactly. Every day is an opportunity to grow and understand yourself a little bit better.
Yes, and that awareness, patience, and curiosity makes life richer, more rewarding, and truly beautiful.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening with us today. I hope you're enjoying this conversation about growing up and finding yourself.
Yes, we're really glad you're here, and we'd love for you to think about something with us.
Like, what's one small step you can take today to learn more about yourself or try something new?
Or maybe what's one fear you've been avoiding? And how could you face it in a small way this week?
Exactly. Even tiny steps, like speaking English to a friend or trying a new habit, can make a big difference over time.
And while you reflect on that, think about what you've already learned from challenges or mistakes in your life.
Yes, every experience teaches us something, and noticing that helps you grow more confident and aware.
And remember, growth isn't about being perfect. It's about learning, reflecting, and taking small steps forward every day.
Totally. So maybe pause for a moment, think about your own journey, and try one small action this week.
And we'd love to hear about it. You can share your thoughts, your small steps, or your reflections in the comments.
That's right. Sharing your journey makes it even more meaningful, and it helps others too.
And we hope this conversation inspires you to explore, reflect, and take tiny steps towards discovering yourself.
Keep learning, keep reflecting, and most importantly, keep curious about yourself and the world around you.
Absolutely. And remember, every small step counts, and you're already on the journey.